Hello. We get so involved in negative emotions and negativity that we never learn what are positive emotions or a positive state of mind. And I was reading, and I wanna read a little passage of this book, which I already spoke about, that caught my attention. Harriet Brecker says, "There is a general consensus among leading experts that the most important positive emotions are love, optimism, hope, sense of purpose, will to live, faith, pleasure, determination, festivity and laughter, peacefulness, high self-esteem, altruism, and the sense of support from others." The power of the narcissist is a power to make each one of these emotions a negative one. So love becomes hate. Excuse me. Love becomes hate. Let's think about this. And optimism with the narcissist, even though he speaks about being optimist, he is not. His actions are negativistic, pessimistic. Hope becomes hopelessness. The narcissist has no hope. Sense of purpose. Narcissist has no purpose in life. They are like drug addicts. They just want the addiction. Will to live. My narcissist, Narc 2, has no will to live. Faith. My narcissist was faithless. They believe in nothing. Narc 2, Narc 3, Narc 1 either. They believe in nothing. And the classical thing that they say when you talk to them about religion is the limbo tactic. Oh, I'm still struggling with it. Well, I'm still struggling with it, and you just ask a narcissist, do you believe in God? Oh, I'm still struggling with it. That's the limbo tactic. He has faith in nothing, but he doesn't want to lose your favors. So he'll say, I'm neither here nor there. Whatever you want, he leaves it to your imagination. Okay, pleasure. Narcissists. It is hard to please narcissists. Whatever you do, you cannot please them. It seems that they don't feel pleasure anywhere, with anything. Determination. They don't have determination. They start a project and you ask them about that project and they say, well, whenever, it's been some problems, and they give an evasive answer. It's because they abandoned their project. They're not determined to finish any project that they start. Whether it's writing a paper, a book, or looking for a job. Festivity and laughter. No way that the narcissist has this peacefulness. Crazy. No peacefulness. Just turmoil. High self-esteem. Narcissist has very low self-esteem. He hates himself. And he cannot tolerate his imperfections and the imperfections in other people. Altruism. No, the narcissist serves only to himself. He cannot give. His brain is not capable of giving. And a sense of support from others. I don't think narcissists care about it, about this positive emotion, because they resent needing us. They hate being dependent on us. So you can support them, but they don't care about that support. And I guess they want is to be what they want is to be independent, but they can't. And that's the power of the narcissist, is to take every positive emotion and turn it into negative. And let's think about what Patricia Evans says about power in her book, The Verbally Abusive Relationship. She talks about the power over, which is the power that pleases the narcissist, and the personal power is usually the power that the victim has. And it's funny to realize that the narcissist destroys your personal power, but he doesn't give up his power, which is power over. So his only power, the only power that the narcissist have, is power to destroy. And I think, when I think about my experiences, is that the only power that I have is a power to create. Now, destroying is very easy. Very easy to destroy. I was in a band and I saw many bands playing a style of heavy metal called death metal. And their compositions were so full of crap, just noise. And it destroys your mood, destroys your spirit. That's the intention. But the thing that I used to observe is that it's very easy to create death metal songs. Almost any band that plays in little shows, they play death metal. Why? Because it's so easy. Now you try to create something good, that's difficult. And that takes real power to create. Now, because the narcissist, well, let's speak a little bit more. If you want the power, let's suppose you want power in your life. And you are given the power over, the power to destroy. And destroy and destroy and destroy. First, you can only destroy something that is created, is previously there. If there is nothing there to destroy, you won't be able to destroy. So that's a weakness. And the power to destroy, which is all the power that the narcissist has, is it really power? He can only destroy. Is that really power? Is that real power? And I'm gonna tell you what he destroys. And the victim has power to create. And because power to destroy is not real power, the narcissist is envious of you, is envious of us, so he will mock your power while raising the, making himself, his kind of power, look superior. So he will mock your optimism, he will destroy your good mood, destroy your peace. If you create something, whether it's music, art, poetry, if you're creating some good for the community via altruism, if you're creating peace in the house, if you're doing a good job creating a paper, if you're creating any positive thing, he will come and destroy it, because that's the only power that he has. And he will destroy your power and mock your talents. Your poetry is not good. Your book is not good. If you are polite, he will say, well, you should be aggressive, like him. So he will try to make you be like him, because he needs to feel good about his sick power, which is not power after all, but he wants you to convince him that his power is valid. Power to destroy. It is not valid. It is not power. But because he is envious of us, your power to create happiness, create art, quality art, create a good job, create effectiveness, he's going to destroy your power by moral harassment. Via moral harassment, he destroys your health, so your job will be, you're not gonna do a good job. And that's the power of the narcissist, to destroy you. So every positive emotion that I talked about, that Harriet Brackett talks about, will be reverted into negative emotion. Then, as a victim, your hope becomes hopelessness. What caught my attention most was the sense of purpose being a positive emotion. And after narcissistic abuse, there's no sense of purpose in my life. Not yet. And the funny thing is that the narcissist destroys and mocks and vilifies our power to create, which is real power. You gotta be a tough person in order to create. No weak person can create things. And it destroys our power, which is the only power that we have as victims. And he raises up his power, which is the power to destroy, which is no power at all. And you get zero power in the relationship and after narcissistic abuse, because it destroys it, your self-esteem, everything positive. You feel powerless because the narcissist undermined your powers. And he has zero power too, but he convinces you that his power is power. After all, he was able to destroy, so he might have some power. So he is the one with power, and you feel powerless. And because every positive emotion has been turned into a negative one. But because we are not, we don't have, or we don't want the power to destroy like the narcissist, we end up with nothing. And the narcissist ends up with his false power to destroy. And he goes merrily his way, and we are left alone after the discard, or after you end the relationship. You are left alone with no power and wishing for revenge, which is wishing for the narcissist's power to destroy, which you also don't have. Although I wanted the power to destroy the narcissists, I didn't have this power to destroy. So I have no power. I have no power to destroy and no power to create, because of the manipulation of the mind and the mind control and the positive reinforcement or negative reinforcement, the training, the grooming that the narcissist did with my mind, that made me addicted, and breaking the emotional bond is the beginning of destroying the addiction, and then you can try to deprogram the whole thing. And then we don't have power to destroy, we don't have power to create, we have no power. So I think that in my case, that's what happened. And therapy and the books, for they are headed in a direction that I can't see. I can see now the direction that these books are taking me is the direction of creating positive emotions. Those positive emotions that I talked about, which is high self-esteem, sense of purpose, love, laughter, and festivity. And Harriet Becker says that these emotions they neutralize the negative emotions that the narcissist created in your life and in your brain. So the direction that we have to take as survivors, that I guess we need to take because we have no choice. Rationally speaking, I guess it is better to have one kind of power than to have zero power, don't you think? Because if the narcissist prouds himself in having the power to destroy, why can't we be proud of having the power to create? Which is real power, personal power. So I was thinking about those things, and although it's easier said than done, I just wanted to say this to you all and help you think about it. So we gotta try to go against our beliefs that there is no purpose in our lives, that there is only hate in the world, that I am a piece of shit, that my mistakes define me, which psychologists they say you are not your mistake, your mistakes don't define you, which is something that narcissists cannot understand. So we have to we need to pay attention to restoring our power to create. So we need to try to get in touch with our creativity again. Go to a place that might allow us to create again, whether this is art or a good job, whatever you take pleasure in doing, creating a good job, a good painting, a good poem, a good novel, uh, a good appearance, or creating a nice home, dish if you like to cook, creating things, creativity. Because I think that that's in the heart of our power, is to create things, not to destroy. And we have to do, because that's the only power that we have. We gotta do it. Otherwise we'll be in depression. We'll stay in bed the remaining days of our lives. Easier said than done, I know, but psychologists say that the behavior comes first, and then the mind will follow. If you want to create some health, you gotta go take a walk around the lake. Of course you don't want it. I didn't want it to do it. My mind, still am, but I was more depressed. I didn't want to go, but my therapist said, you cannot expect your mind to give you the inspiration to go take a walk. You gotta take a walk. And then the effects comes later, the positive effects of doing that. And although many times that's not the power that we want, accepting our power to create as our power and the best power in the world, and nurturing it, pushing to create love in our lives, peacefulness, working with a therapist for a high self-esteem, for a sense of purpose via your creativity. That's I guess the key, one of the keys to our improvement as narcissistic abuse survivor. Yes, as survivors. We have to nurture laughter. Laugh in the middle of all this living hell. Find something that makes you laugh. Find something to do that gives you pleasure. Start with small things that involve your creativity, and then that will lead to bigger and bigger. And when you see you're doing things that I say, oh my God, how did I do this? 2 days ago I was depressed in bed, now I did this. Yeah, that's good, that's good. So it's easier said than done. Sometimes you will be resistant because the negativity that the narcissist creates is very overwhelming. It's too much. The hurt, especially the hurt, you know, your reason may tell you to do this positive thing, but the hurt doesn't let you go for it. But keep pushing, keep first the information is the beginning. I am thinking about it, I read about it, and now I have the power to give this information to you. You have the power to listen to it. Right now, I have the power to create a video. That's a power. You have the power to pay attention and think about it, and then put it in try to make this information work in your recovery for your best interests. That's power. And it's better to have our power and try to get some self-esteem about this power. This power is so good, this power is the best power in the world, that kind of thinking. I think that's the best to embrace our personal power to create, than to have no power at all. Oh, I cannot kill or destroy the narcissist, so I have no power. The narcissist is very happy because he is proud of having the power to destroy, and we are left with nothing. We gotta be proud of having the power to create. That's our only chance of survival and keep surviving. The power to create is real power. And the power to destroy is not real power. And because the narcissist is envious of real power, he wants to convince us that our power has no value. He wants to have the power of creation, the power of the creator. But he's envious because he doesn't have it, so he will destroy your belief in yourself and in your power. Because if he makes you completely powerless, at least his power to destroy will be one power. He will have one kind of power in his hands, and you will have zero. That's what happens to us, victims of narcissistic abuse. In one video, I spoke about something that a guy called Gary Brodsky says. Gary Brodsky is kind of a pickup artist. He talks about dominating women, and he talks about the power in relationships. And he said something that I mentioned earlier. He says, the one who makes the decisions has the power. Now, you think about this. In order to create something, you have to decide. You have to make decisions. If you want to create a work of art, a painting for example, you gotta decide which colors, where to put things. You have to use the golden ratio, the golden section, the third rule, which will help you to make the composition and put the eye of the person who's looking right where you want it to go. And that make your so that your image has a look that is pleasing to the eye, and it reproduces the look of nature, the forms of nature. That's what the golden ratio does, if you never heard about it. Simply put, its symmetry is pleasing to the eye. Everything that has similar features, like I have one eye here and another equal eye here, they are in the same place, that symmetry, then that's pleasing to the eye. You gotta make decisions in order to create things, to do a good job. You gotta make good decisions. But because the brain of the narcissist is not capable of making decisions, the narcissist, has no power to create anything. And if that does not convince you that our personal power and our creativity is real power, please think about this and see if this can help you raise your self-esteem. We gotta be proud of our power to create and of our personal power. Yes, it does not destroy the narcissist, but it creates a better life for ourselves. Think about it. We cannot kill the narcissists, but we can make our lives more alive, more full of life. We can create better life for ourselves because we have the power to make decisions and to create. And the narcissist wants that power desperately, but he's envious of it, and then he will destroy it in you and then on me. Thank you for your time.